All right, there we go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning again. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, June 26, 2024. You are in the Java Cafe this morning. We have a guest this morning, but I told him I need about a minute just to give a little bit of commentary. One, about two things yesterday. The first thing is, we'll start with the business. I put up a post. As an entrepreneur, often, the thing that changes for a small business is I've heard people make the statement, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Well, as a small business and entrepreneur, we live from invoice paid, sometimes to invoice paid. And so I've been waiting on a couple of payments. I've been waiting on an invitation. I checked with my daughter, Safari, last night. Said, she put a formal invitation in the mail for her birthday party in a couple of weeks. And it took over 2 weeks to get here, and it came from Dorchester. Technically, there was a time where if you got your mail in like 02119 and it was going to 02124, that mail got there the next day or within 48 hours. So I put a post up about, we see our carrier maybe once or twice a week here in 02119. And I had the same problem in 02124. Miss Teresa has sent me things, and for no reason, they get sent back. And so there is a lot of buzz and conversation over on Facebook on a post I put up about mail carriers. And so if you know any former or active mail carriers, we have the ability. They can call in and talk, and they can be on screen. We'll figure out a way how to darken them out like they do on regular TV shows. And let's talk about it, because points that came up in that post were around their safety, forced overtime, also their commitment. A lot of them, Janice Murray, Pastor Ron Odom used to be a mail carrier. Their commitment to making sure we get our mail through rain, sleet, and snow. So just that first part of commentary. The second is, I want to thank Encore Boston, also Dee Dee's Cry and Kathy Kim, for the opportunity in my 52 years of being a born and bred in Boston until I'm dead Bostonian. Was my first Red Sox game yesterday. And it was, now, I'm not into baseball. It was a good experience. We first game, and we were in a suite, and it was amazing. It was amazing. So we'll talk more about that the next time I'm on solo. Without further ado, I would like to bring in this brother that is working with a program called One Bead that is ensuring that there's equity across the board when it comes to our young people in workforce development. So I would like to present to the folks over on LinkedIn, because they went in when they found out he was coming on. So introduce to everybody on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and present to the folks over on LinkedIn, Mr. Koree Peeler. You're very popular, man.
Good morning. Well, hopefully more popular after today. Go One Bead.
Man, listen, you're there with some red and black on. You got the background that kind of falls in the aesthetic. So
all about my speakers, my leaders. Got to shout them out.
Listen, so before we jump into the program, tell us a little bit about yourself. Greet the folks and say good morning. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And after your introduction, I actually have a flyer here, Mass Hire. Darian Johnson and them are doing some things. Describe the workforce transition of the generation it's going in. Describe that generation and what's going on with them in one word after your introduction. Then we'll get some context to your purview on workforce development, the youth young adult edition.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. As Jimmy said, my name is Koree Peeler. That's right, Koree. Spelled a little different. I am the community engagement director for One Bead. I am a Boston native, just like Jimmy. He shouted out 02119, and that is where I'm from. That's where I am right now. If you hear them in the background, it's because Roxbury is very loud. I I started working here about a year and a half ago. I am the community engagement director, which means I get the fun part. I get to go out and find the speakers, some of which you see in the background. Some Jimmy mentioned on LinkedIn, but my job is to go out in the community and try to find leaders with various different careers in order to introduce them and expose them to our students.
And you're not going to get away with that one word, just based on their interaction with the speakers and different things in your program model. What are you observing from this generation of young people that are going into the workforce?
The one word, you said I have to use one word, right?
Yeah, you can give some context after the one word. It's just the thing we do here.
I'm going to say curious. Curious because a lot of them, the majority of our program is interviews. So interviews just like this, where questions are asked over and over again. And that's one thing that I noticed with the new generation is that these kids are curious. They want to know more. So what do we got to do? We got to provide them with these answers. We got to show them real life experiences, because a lot of times they get told, you want to be a doctor, you want to be like an astronaut or whatever, but then they don't get to actually see it. They don't know what work and dedication that it takes to actually achieve that. So I'm gonna say curious.
I definitely, and that falls in line. Yesterday, I had the CEO of ABCD, which does, if you're from Boston, you're familiar with SummerWorks.
Gave my first job.
So shout out to Sharon, because we found out former Mayor Janey, former police commissioner, myself, Charlie Titus, like the ABCD SummerWorks alumni group is like huge and a vast variety of expertise and careers. And so when you say curious, one of the things that Sharon talked about yesterday was that these young people's minds are broadened. It's not just the red shirts. It's not just sitting in the office and answering phones. And so what have you found to be the most engaging when your speakers come in? Like what type of fields are the young people most attracted to? They are curious, but is there a trend in it? Are they looking at, there's some typical, a lot of the boys are looking to be basketball players. The young women looking to do any and everything, because women, young women are just killing it. And so what is your observation there?
Great question. So what I've noticed, of course, is students are always saying, hey, Koree, we want to meet a hockey player. We want to meet a basketball player. But what I try to do is trying to find speakers who are in that field. Like, for instance, we had a speaker who is Celtics. Shout out Celtics. He works for the Celtics, but he's not a basketball player, but he's still part of the Celtics organization.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yes. We also have had DJ Y Sham. Gotta shout her out because she's a fan favorite. And that's an industry that a lot of kids don't actually they don't really think that you can make a career off for being a DJ. But DJ Y Sham was able to show everyone that, yes, you can make a career off of that. You can go on a parade and party with the Celtics just off of doing what you love. But to further answer your question, I think a lot of the industries that are overlooked, which is what I love about our program, is like trades. We had a trash man come in and the kids loved him. A lot of kids don't know that sanitation is where the money's at. Like, they have benefits.
It's where the money is, and it's a necessity, just like our mail carriers. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, our mail carriers. Yep, you said Janice in the beginning. Actually,
yes.
I know Janice from 12th Baptist, so shout out Janice.
So you know Pastor Bodrick and all them too?
Yeah, of course. I told you Roxbury, man.
Back in the day, in a former life, I used to be the youth pastor there.
Oh,
some years ago.
Okay.
Koree said,
you have to talk about that offline, but definitely. But they want to meet the sports people, but they also, it's all about content too. They want to meet the social media influencers. So a lot of people I've been looking for are those people, like I don't want to give out too much names, but like people who are, and then we also have iron workers. So those are the trades that was a super favorite. They loved her. They wanted to see, they showed pictures of her like up there, using the flame torch and whatever. So exposing these kids to those different careers is mainly what's gonna get those curious brains going.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you, we know the importance of young people, especially Black and brown, young women and young men, as well in some particular careers. Seeing that example in front of them, what inspired you to go into did you see someone in front of you that was in community engagement? What inspired you personally, Koree, to be in this space of making sure? You said it was the fun part, you get to go out.
Yes.
What inspired you? Was there someone in front of you that you heard speak or was an example and pushed you into this public service, basically, of community engagement?
Well, growing up as a Black man, I've always looked for that Black male role model.
Yeah,
and it's hard to find.
That's a whole nother Zoom in itself, but go ahead.
Definitely. But whenever I would find anyone I would see a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of my male role models. I grew up in the Boston Community Youth Center, so BCYF over the Perkins. I also was in the Vine Street Community Center. Whenever I would see a positive male role model, it would always be like, oh, well, why are they doing this? They're not even getting paid. Like, they're just taking me out to play basketball or even just to talk in general, to give me that mental support. But what motivated me specifically is when I was a kid, I hated school. I was academically gifted,
challenged,
but I never saw like the point, the purpose. But I always would talk to my guidance counselor, and I wanted to be a guidance counselor, just because I knew I know there's a lot of lost kids out there that don't know, they know what they want, but they don't know what they want, if that makes sense.
Fair to say.
So being able to identify and expose them to the different careers is why I want to be why I wanted to be a guidance counselor. But I ended up being in finance. So you can see how that's like completely opposite. But because of the connections that I made and those male influences, I was able to get connected with someone in this organization, and I got exposed to the nonprofit world. And I said, yes, I need to be here. This is where I need to be so that I can be that guidance counselor. I can still do what I wanted to do, but in a different form. So now I'm not pointing the older kids, the high school kids, to different careers, but I'm helping the younger ones dream big. And that's like rewarding in itself.
That's where it's at. The younger you're able to start. And I just want to observe a passion point there, because your whole demeanor changed when you said that what you're doing for the younger ones itself, you saw your whole disposition change. Like, that's really what you enjoy doing. And one of the things that is rewarding in this space, and sometimes we don't always enjoy because it's young people and then systems and all this other stuff. But can you share a success story, an impact that you have observed being in this space there at One Bead? Can you share a story of a young person, did an interview, heard a story, they got connected? I won't tell your story for you. You tell the story.
I have a few stories, but my favorite, and since we're on the radio, I want to talk about one of my students' favorite. He is an ESL learner, and he struggled with public speaking, and but he is a favorite. Like, he would join every single one of our interviews, and we got invited to be on the radio, 98.1. Shout out Urban Heat.
To Marv Neal and Urban Heat.
Yes. So we were able to go on there.
Me and Marv was just together yesterday. He actually, right before my show came on, he sends me a link to tune into his show.
Well, it's at the same time. How's that going to work?
He knows that. That's just something that we do. But we went live last night from the Red Sox game, and from day one, he's been supportive. He's been like, there's no competition. We have this friendly thing. He's the only one that does it. I don't send him my link while they're on, but he will send me his link to their show like 2 minutes before I go live. I'm like, Marvin. So that's dope that there's that connection with 98.1.
One of our speakers on there, SB John, she invited me and that student to come on. He came on and he rocked the show. Like, he did so well that when they tuned in at his school, the David Ellis, they were like, oh my God, Ethan he spoke so fluently. He was amazing. And I mean, you can even ask Marv yourself. I think it was an amazing show. And now Ethan he has that on his resume. Well, he's a kid, he's only in the 5th grade, but these kids are going to have these experiences, and he was able to make that connection with someone in the community on a community-based radio show, something that everyone is going to hear. So that is a success story that I love, and I'm sure Ethan is going to be joining the series next year once we start. Another story that I like to share is we had a speaker come into the classroom. So that is something else that we do. We have our virtual series where, similar to Java, we interview these speakers on a weekly basis, Monday through Thursday. But then we also have our Pathways program, which is when we're in the classroom.
Okay.
And one experience we had a lawyer come into the classroom, and she was talking about like foreign policies. And we had one student who was very engaged and asked so many questions, and even had the lawyer like, what, like, how old is this kid? Then we found out later that student actually was told. Some of the students were like, why is she talking? Like, she is really misbehaved in environment. But what One Bead did, I think we're providing that need. We found something that she was interested in, and therefore got her to pay attention. I mean, talk about classroom management. Like, we didn't even have to do anything. She was that engaged with the speaker. So I think those situations, and I have more, of course, but I think those situations really show that the impact that we're showing on for our students and for our speakers, because they are meeting these students. We had an MBTA driver. That is another industry that a lot of programs don't actually focus on, but we do, because we know that the MBTA is like, it's public service. We had an MBTA driver come in, and the next day she hit me up and she's like, yeah, I saw some of the students, and the students were like, hi. So like and then some of the kids were interested in actually driving the bus, driving the train, and they make good money too, believe it or not. So
how important, before we're going to take a quick break in a second, but I actually, on the other side of this, I'll get you to answer the question and come back and let us know how important it is for these young people to see these examples and the intentionality around doing it at such an early age. So we'll hear more from you as soon as we come back from the break. We'll be right back.
For the innovators, the dreamers, the risk takers, independent workers who keep our neighborhoods thriving, Connector Care from the Massachusetts Health Connector has plans for every lifestyle and budget.
Having access to affordable healthcare is for everyone in our community.
Connector Care plans help more people save on healthcare that covers all their needs. Find out if you qualify for Connector Care. Visit mahealthconnector.org or call 1-877-MA-ENROLL.
Hey, everybody. We are back here with Koree Peeler, who is the Director of Community Engagement at One Bead, which is a program that engages young people through storytelling, both virtually and also going into the classroom. And so on the other side, we talked about the importance. You talked about seeing your relationships with, other gentlemen within finance, made that connection, because there is this sort of, let's keep it right here at home. It's not so much what you know, but who you know. So I think it's a mixture, especially in this case, because what these young people are learning and finding out through real life experience of the people that are coming in to speak. How important is it that they see these people, and let's just go into that look like them. Yes. And you said you've had lawyers, MBTA drivers, trash men, trash women. How important is it that they see these examples in front of them early?
I think it's important for them to see it early, because young minds are always changing. They need to be broadened, as you mentioned earlier. And a lot of times when you see it, you believe it. And I love that quote, and because it's so real in the sense that if you don't see someone that looks like you in a position of power, you don't believe that you can obtain it. You don't aspire to be in that position. I like that we work with the younger kids. We focus on the 6 to 8 because at that age, they're about to go into high school and they're about to be bombarded with a whole bunch of like college essays and people telling them this is what you should do.
Puberty, Lord Jesus.
Yes. And I think when we get them young, we kind of give them that sense of relief that, hey, if I'm not good at this, I can do this. If I am I not interested in doing math, then hey, maybe I could go into ironwork. I can do a trade. I can start my own YouTube page and make money off of that, but I just need to know how. And I think we need to, main point of our, like, that opportunity gap is the fact that career days is something that we never really, I mean, I'm a BPS native. I don't know if you are, Jimmy, but like
career day, 1990 Madison Park. Did we ever have a, wait, hold on.
Did y'all have a career day? If y'all did, let me close my mouth, but I just know that
I can't unequivocally say we didn't, but there's nothing that stands out in my 4 years there that such and such came in and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go run my mouth over coffee. Oh, I'm going to go into government. I don't remember folks coming in for career day for us. College fairs and all that other stuff, but career day, the little speed dating thing with, I don't remember having that in high school.
Exactly. Even in middle school as well. These type of industries are not, we don't know what they are. We're just told MBA, or like J. Cole says, like we were told basketball, or we're gonna be, like we are always we're not limited. And I think that when kids are exposed to this at a young age, it widens their range of motivation and just like their creativity. I think if we expose more kids to science, we'll have more scientists out there. We'll cure more diseases if we get these kids interested in science at an early age versus waiting until they're younger. Until they're older. But yeah, I think the importance of that is because, I mean, the career days are something that are in, like the more higher end, more lucrative neighborhoods. But here, we don't get to see that. And if we do, we're going to have like some super old, like white CEO in front of us instead of seeing like a black business owner, like the CEO of Rapid7, who I'm trying to get on.
I know the struggle of trying to get some folks in spaces to talk. I want to ask you, with, you spoke to the challenge on a macro level of like in our community, we don't see these examples. There may not be that intentionality. Anissa, if you're still on, remind me, I don't know if you're connected, but we're going to start doing some stuff in the fall with Mission Grammar School.
I have her on the LLS too, if she's interested.
Oh God, I'm trying to think. Oh, Anissa?
Yes. She gonna be on there? I hope
Anissa, so. You better go ahead and speak as a brand manager and whatnot and show these young people what you're doing. All right, shout out to Anissa for that. But I think there's some correlation between what you're doing, Mission Grammar School. I think Pam Leans, I saw her on from Boston Equity Fund. She supports different type of programming. I thought I saw her. There she is. I thought she's already familiar.
Yes. Yep. I was just at her breakfast. Oh my God, I love that.
I was supposed to be.
You wasn't there, Jimmy? Come on.
No. I'm about to get you real quick. I had surgery the week before.
Okay. Well, I mean, I got my wisdom teeth out that day.
And it went. Try 3.
You got it.
Try 3, and everybody knows in my audience the upgraded partial 2. So all of that stuff at the same time, bro. I was not trying to go to no breakfast and sit there and watch y'all and socialize, and I can't eat no bacon. And so anyway, getting back to what's important, how can we help? What is it that we can do? Is it garnering speakers? Is it some level of mentoring? How can the community help One Bead today?
I think the way the community helps is definitely inviting me to be on interviews like this. Exposure, all about spreading awareness that we need speakers, and we also need to let other schools know that One Bead is out there. Sign with us, and we will bring speakers into the classroom and show you guys what we do. Like, I think the number one thing that'll help me out, help me sleep at night, is if I get 1,000 emails saying, Koree, I want to be a speaker. Koree, I want to meet a student.
Put your email in the private chat.
Of course. Yeah.
Listen, that Leslie, who is an author and a singer, Leslie, a few minutes ago, she said, I will reach back out to your organization. Love speaking.
Yes, Leslie, I actually reached out to her. I think my coworker Ronaldo actually spoke with her. So, yes. You already got some connections up here in the job. I love Boston. Yes. Early in the morning. Miss Teresa said Koree grunted at that. When I gave the revelation, I had surgery. But sir, this is so all right. Let me make sure folks know the banner is up there right now where you can go and get information. But if you go in the comments, you can hyperlink straight to their website. Now, I want to ask a couple questions. Is it your nonprofit? Is there a donate button right there on the website? There's donate right there. Yes. And that is about.
What other I know you're looking for speakers. Is there opportunity to where people can sign up to speak? Let's name, do they have to, they're around young people? Is a Koree process involved? What is the process of someone that wants to come in and speak to the young people, just so folks are aware?
Yeah, great question. So since my perfect person to speak to is me, because I'm in charge of whenever a speaker comes in, I'll give them a brief intro of the program. And then once they fill out if they're going into the classroom, yes, they do have to sign a Koree.
Sorry. Yep.
Our virtual program, which is held Monday through Thursday at 6 or 6:30. That's for our high profile people who cannot come. Let's go, Domingos.
Tell Domingos to spell your name right. That's my brother. Someone mess with him a little bit.
I've known Domingos since I was 8. So
he been spelling your name like that.
But yeah, you come to me, and then they will, once we fill out the paperwork. One cool thing about us is that we pay our speakers as well. I forgot to add that in. Yes, we pay our speakers. This helps us be more selective, and we also appreciate you guys' time. Like, you're coming into the classroom, you're taking time out of your work, and you're coming to speak with our kids. So a lot of our people don't take the money, but that is something that we do offer, is a paid volunteer experience. But if you want to be a part of One Bead, if you want to be a speaker, if you want to speak virtually, in person, or even at one of our career expos. The career expo is really cool. We had that one last February. We partnered with the Office of Youth and Engagement with Mayor Wu. Shout out Mayor Wu.
Yep. And what's his name over there? The young brother. Pedro. Yes.
Yep. Pedro. Shout out Pedro. So we actually had a career expo. We had 45 industry reps. So we're going to be having that every year. So if you want to be a part of the career expo, if you want to go visit one of our partner schools, you just shout out me. I mean, Koree.
I'm gonna put that in the private chat, and I'll put it up for people as well. I just want to acknowledge the good brother Domingos, who is in the room. He is done this for everyone, from showing folks how to be a lifeguard, to a football coach, to an advocate, to a candidate for public office, to a dad, to a business owner, and to just to get on my nerves. Good type of brother. That's my dude. I want to put Koree's email up here. Now, listen, summer's coming. I don't know if you guys have summer programming, but what I'm going to say is, if you sign up, be real about the time frame preferred for you. Don't sign up, get this brother interested in you, and then don't follow up. And so let's make sure that if we sign up and hit this brother, that if he reaches back out, when he reaches back out, we follow up with him and avail ourselves. You hear the flexibility. Shout out to you all for taking the consideration to compensate folks for their time, because a lot of people don't do that. You know what I mean? And I presume there's a large percentage that turns right around, sign it over and say for deposit only, and put it right back, in the program. And so that is definitely dope. Do you have an event or anything coming up particularly that we can point to? We talked about the donate button, talked about emailing you. This is where you guys can email Koree. One, if you want more information. While I'm thinking of it, are you connected with Koree McCarthy?
Yes, Koree he was one of our speakers, of course.
Okay. Because
he was at the expo as well.
Yeah, that piece about getting into the schools and more partners. He's a good facilitator there. I think Pam would be as well. And so you're definitely on what you call. Oh, you got Domingo up here being nice. Did we miss an event? Do you have an event coming up soon?
So we don't have any
Okay.
events, but during the summer, we operate during the school year. So
Okay.
during the summer is all crunch time for recruitment. So I am going to be at community events. Shout out KMK. I'm going to be at the King Amongst Kings. Sorry.
Okay.
So I'm going to be at
Jeff and Alex and them.
Yes.
Yep.
So you're going to see me out there. If you see me, say, Koree, what's up? I'm going to be out in the community trying to recruit as much speakers for our students this upcoming school year.
Okay. Folks, I want to make sure you have the information. It is hyperlinked in the comments here of where you can go to the website. Also, Corey's email address, if you want to email him directly to sign up to be a speaker.
Koree at One Bead.
Corey, yeah, that is kind of a
really easy. Thank you. Shout out Sarah, our CEO.
And shout out to your mom and dad that named you Corey and spelled it different.
That was my grandmother.
That was your grandmother. Okay.
I wish there was more like story behind it, but she's just creative and she said I was going to be different. So she's like, I need his name to be different.
Listen, I don't think with my grandmother and them named James, I think they had some hopes of different, but James doesn't indicate, it's such a regular. Anyway, that's why I embrace Jimmy now. Huh?
It's hard to forget, Koree, once you see it.
Yeah, once you see it, it's hard to forget it. Look, even if people claim you as their own and have known you for years, hold on. Now it's Mr. Peeler. He will not say KOU. Shout out to Domingos, man. Thank you, Koree, for being with us today. Thank you for what you do. Strength Your Way. We hope that you get those 1,000 emails. There's a group of folks that go and watch. We're on Twitter and LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, which is sort of the professional social media space, definitely inbox this brother. You can email him at this address and be willing to go out and share your story. You got a good brother, Raymond Heath, in here, and he spelled it right. When we put the post up, social media was like this brother. So it speaks to your impact in community, sir. So we salute you and thank you for all that you're doing. Make sure you take a break this summer because folks like us, see the Excel?
There's no time to. Come on, I gotta get speakers for my students. Come on.
You want to make sure that you're there next summer, right?
Yes.
Take a break.
All right.
Says he who's looking in the camera. So I'm getting you off of here, brother. Thank you so much for being with us today. Please keep us abreast of what you're doing. Go ahead and get Anissa booked. You will not be disappointed at all. And I'm really excited to hear about what you're doing in giving young people this exposure. There's another thing that I can connect you with. It's called the real. If you, Koree, we do this stuff in real time. Hold on, okay. I'm gonna send you a link in the private chat right now. And if you go now, how can I edit, copy?
But Jimmy, you ain't getting out of it either. I'm gonna need you to be a speaker as well.
I don't mind. I went to Mission Grammar School. Huh?
You can come to the classroom, bring your equipment. We had photographers on here. Come in.
I was willing to come, but once you said bring equipment, I'm like, oh boy. But that I let Anissa know. And that would be in September, right?
Yeah. So we already.
So that's cool. So yeah. That'll work. So I put a link in there for you, and some of your young people that may not be fully occupied this summer and are around. There's a program that's being but a cohort here in Boston for the summer. It's called the Real Music Program. And when you talk about the industry, we know there's some interesting things in the music industry. And so if there's some young people that are interested in writing, engineering, musicians, singers, engineers, all of that production, they are set up to do that. So please check that program out. You got a Grammy Award winner in there, big bank executive, and also Marcus Jones from the Patriots, and Chantel Hampton that's been in the industry for years. So definitely check out that program. It would be good, for young people can go for a couple of days.
Definitely.
Okay. Koree, I appreciate you, man. Naraki said, Koree, reach out to Berkeley for some speakers. James knows some faculty. And so there's folks like Emmett Price, Angela, Elizabeth, who's a adjunct professor there, who's an artist there, the whole spectrum. We're in Black Music Month. And so it will be in September, but there may be an inspiring artist there in September that, we'll want to hear from folks like that. So there's a lot that goes on here in the Java Cafe. So if you need us, definitely reach out. And Anissa, put Anissa and I back to back. You go Tuesday, I go Wednesday.
Just might.
All right. Koree, thank you, man. Again, keep us abreast and salute for everything you're doing for our young people and community. And remember, take that break this summer.
I will.
All right. So y'all heard him live here. We got it recorded. So if we don't hear about a break, and we're going to follow you, track you down and follow you on social media. If we don't see a post with a beach, then we're going to have the folks hit you up.
All right.
I appreciate you, Koree. Thank you, man.
All right. See you, everybody.
Good day, brother. Listen, folks, you can sense his energy and commitment to young people. And so I was glad to have Koree in the building. As Pastor Marion said, and Mama Java, thank you for Koree being here today. Listen, folks, we're going to get ready to wrap up. It is 9:39. Tomorrow morning, we get to speak with Boston's own, the Brandy Blaze, who is an artist, a composer, and she has a production coming out called Hoops. So she's going to speak with us tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. That will close out our week here in the Java Cafe. I do have confirmation for next week, at least on Wednesday. We know that Mayor Wu will still join us on Wednesday. I have raised, it's been a few months that I had to raise the issue, but I went past Mass and Cash yesterday. Oh my. And she articulated, and we know through the years that change of season, there's an uptick. I think we've seen Mass and Cast. The most impact we've seen of services in Mass and Cast was this past fall and winter. And so if you haven't been down there in the fall and winter, since the fall and winter, when it kind of really emptied out for a season, it's interesting now. Not as much congregation up on Atkinson, but all their turns off the highway and the exit and all that. Oh boy. So we're going to talk about that as well with the mayor on Wednesday. So Monday and Tuesday, we're still not sure yet. It is a holiday week. So we'll keep you abreast about programming. But tomorrow we have Brandy with us. I think that is it. Waterfront events are over. Not that much going on in July. We will do a Black Java in July. Yes, not really that much coming up. So thank everyone for being here this morning. I appreciate all of you. UCB members, you all get your hour today. Oh, Miss Teresa, I did notice that earlier. So, as some of you know, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Miss Teresa had a health issue. She had made us aware of what the doctors were saying. And if y'all know me, oh boy. So in this, I don't know how we're going to be doing it. But in this case, I will just read it and worry about my face later because it's about the message here. On behalf of Miss Teresa, I want to say a huge thank you to all of my wonderful Java family for keeping those prayers coming my way. I was hospitalized for 12 days, and it was a very touch and go situation. I am home now on meds and working towards a needed surgery when all calms down in about 6 to 8 months. I still believe you may not need it. God heard your dedicated prayers and spared my life, and I am forever grateful. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so that is from one of our adopted charter members that's been with us for a while and supports the platform. You see the clock. You see the other. Now, this thing here, you would think is a sign. It's a cutting board. You see the clock, T-shirts and everything. And not just what he does for a lot of us to support our creativity and missions, but just looking out in the kind heart that Miss Teresa has. And so please keep the prayers continued for Miss Teresa. She'll keep us updated. I still believe that in 6 to 8 months, they won't have to. Anissa, I'm definitely on it. I wanted to make you aware that there is a event coming up. I'll post the flyer later, but Community Connections Resource and Job Fair, which is a collaboration with Mass Hire. Again, shout out to my brother, Darian Johnson, who is the executive director there. Don't miss the first annual Community Connections Resource and Job Fair event hosted by the Massachusetts Probation Service, Pretrial Services Division, and your Boston Community Justice Support Center. Your skills and experience are in demand. Connect with employers, community resources that will connect you with meaningful job opportunities aligned with your skills, experience, and availability and interests. And that is taking place on June. Hold on. Don't y'all laugh at me. Oh, I forgot I can zoom in. Actually, that's taking place from 10 to 2 p.m. right there at 78 Amory Street at, I believe that is the old BHA building, 78 Amory Street in Roxbury, kind of down the street off of Columbus Ave. That's taking place today from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And so if you are looking for a position, you can go check them out there. This is a collaboration with the Boston Public Health Commission and also Mass Hire. They're there till 2 o'clock. And so if you're just hearing about it and you're looking for a position, you can go check them out. Shout out to the good Sister Keys that is in the building. Rachel, it's good to see you in the room. Hey, we want to say congratulations to Rachel. Sunday, she graduated from the New Leadership Council. It is a national program. Brother Mark Martinez is a part of it that trains young adults, young people, to be better and more impactful leaders in the civic and electoral space. So shout out to Keys for your graduation. Congratulations to you for that. And I think that is it. We got the community announcement. Oh, tomorrow there is also the event that, hold on for 1 second. See, this is why I don't go in the email, because then I just saw something that made me curious. Hold on. Where is it? There is the event that our good brother Supreme is doing tomorrow. So tomorrow we will be with the Restorative Justice Theory in Action Conference that's being sponsored by Brother Supreme. That is taking place at Roxbury Community College. I will put the link is actually already up on my personal page, but I will put that on the Job with Jimmy page. Rachel Rollins is going to be there, Conan Harris, and many others that move in the social justice space. So we are looking forward to going by and supporting that event. Sean K. Ellis will be there as well. And so that's taking place tomorrow, beginning, I believe, at 8 a.m. And we'll put that information on our page as well. All right, folks, that's definitely it for me. There is the hour that UCB members have. Shout out to everybody over on Twitter. Haven't looked at Instagram that much. Mama Java hopped over on Instagram for a second. The Costco. Yo, it's so interesting to try to figure out who's on Instagram by the names. But shout out Miles Made. That brother is going to post a link to a dope coffee table book from the parade. And he has pictures of the parade of Tatum, Jaylen Brown on those duck boats that nobody, his angle and perspective, nobody has it. Nobody. Just by the fact that he was on the electrical box where he was. At that point of the parade, nobody had that angle. And so when Miles puts that link out, we'll share it with you all. Let's go support that Black-owned business. He snuck me a couple of pictures he's not using, and I'm trying to get a couple more so we can share those with you. All right, for sure. That's it for me. I'm really signing off this time. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with Miss Brandy Blaze that will come and talk about her production. Everybody have a great day, and we shall talk to you soon. Thank you.